Evening everybody, how you doing? Back again for another little video. It's quite late in the evening, so I'm a tad tired, so you'll have to excuse me if my brain's a little bit even more scattered than normal. I can see that having one of two effects. Either I will be less chatty, or I will waffle on about even more nonsense than usual. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, I just wanted to sit down and make a couple of quick little videos. They have a video I've been meaning to make for quite some time now. It was a kind of a response to some of the comments I had on my what do you consider body modification video. There are just a couple of comments on there that I thought were quite interesting. I thought I would read them out and actually just give my thoughts, give a little reply to them. I really probably should have done this probably a good month or so ago now. It was mid-November, I think, when I put the actual video up. And I have been meaning to do this ever since then. I just, don't know, for some reason I haven't quite found the time to. And chances are by the time this video actually goes up, it'll probably be a good 2 months. So fingers crossed the people that made those comments are about still and can actually see this response. But if not, then, you know, whatever, never mind. Not the end of the world. So yeah, on that video I basically I asked what people consider to be modification or body modification. If they had any sort of personal opinions on where the line was between what might be modification or not, basically, quite simply. So yeah, a couple of comments here. I've got them on here just so I won't completely screw them up. So yeah, the first of the two that I wanted to read out was from Queer Punks. Said, great to see you uploading again. You're quite welcome. Hopefully I'll stick with it a little while. In my opinion, body modification is doing anything to modify the body into alignment that makes us feel comfortable in our bodies, if it be for exploration, spiritual reasons, or health reasons. Early on in my mind, I considered body modification a permanent modification that alters the body to the point of no return to normalcy. I think this is an outdated perspective because of science and technology. We can now sew up our body modifications with surgery, we can laser off tattoos, even reverse people who transition to align their gender identities. So in simple terms, body modification is an action, a mindset, an intention to align our external body to align with how we feel on the inside. Looking forward to more uploads from you, glad to see you. And yeah, for the most part I actually pretty much agree with that. I mean, I think I sort of went through a similar thought process, to be honest. First of all, I wasn't actually aware that you can now effectively reverse gender transitions, so that's pretty interesting. So that's something I will actually look into myself and read a little bit about, because that's pretty interesting. Like I say, how far we've come with science and things is pretty damn incredible, if you ask me. So yeah, that's actually really interesting. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And yeah, I guess I used to pretty much think the same thing. I remember, this was a long time ago, when I was only first getting into it. I almost used to think it was, if someone decided they wanted to get rid of their ears, for example, I almost used to think it was kind of a shame, almost disappointing. But as I've learned more and more about it and gotten more into the subculture, these days I think myself, to be honest, I consider that just another form of body modification, just modifying it back the other way. Like you say, it's that sort of intent of trying to change the external to be more aligned with how you feel on the inside, who you feel you actually are. And so yeah, I would personally, these days, I would actually argue that undoing modifications is itself a form of modification. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to hear someone else has kind of gone through a similar thought process and altered their perception in the same way, actually. That's actually quite interesting. And What was the other thing? Yes, actually funny enough, talking about lasering off tattoos, it's something else that I would quite be very curious to actually experience myself. But I think the problem I have there is again, you never know what's going to happen in the future. I don't ever see myself wanting to actually get rid of any of my tattoos. I would rather just do scars over the top of them, or do some sort of blast over or something like that over the top of what I've already got, should I ever decide I want to do things differently. That being said, like I say, I would like just the experience of having a tattoo lasered off, just out of curiosity to see what it feels like, to see what the experience is like, to experience the healing, all that sort of stuff. I have heard from people who have had the procedures done, and I've been told it can actually be quite a bit more painful than the actual tattoos. So that alone, not that I particularly enjoy pain at all, don't get me wrong, but that alone makes me curious to exactly how painful it could be. Now, with all that in mind, something I have figured out, I wear a Fitbit. It does not work through tattoos, certainly not solid tattoos. Let me see if I can just show you this. For anyone who might not be aware, obviously normally this would read your heart rate. Now, is it going to focus? Hang on. Sort of. Hopefully you saw that. It cannot read a heart rate through lots of tattoos, apparently. I didn't realise this until I'd already got one. So what I may well do at some point in the future is use that as an excuse just to actually just have a little bit lasered off, just so I can go through that experience, and so I can wear my watch the right way around. Yeah. That's something I may well do. And on the topic of lasering tattoos, something I've always wondered actually, if it would actually be possible to intentionally incorporate lasered tattoos, or the lasering process, into actual other bits of work. For instance, if you had like a solid black piece, would it be possible to just partly laser some of it off to perhaps give like a smoky effect or a misty effect? So perhaps you could use that as like the background for like a silhouette of like a tree or a house or something. So it would look like perhaps like a house in the forest in like a misty setting or something like that. Don't know if that'd be possible or not. Just thoughts I've had over the years. But anyway, yeah, got way off track there. So yeah, thank you for your comment. Yeah, queer punks, if you see this, hello. And now the second one that I did just want to go through. I apologise, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name. I haven't got the foggiest how I would even begin there. That's quite a name. Let's leave it there. I'll just call you TB, if we are cool with that. I do apologise for that. I'm terrible with names at the best of times. I even to this day I struggle to even remember what my actual wife's full name is. Let's give it a go, shall we? It's oh, I think I've got it. Anna Philippa Abreu Proencia de Jesus Robinson. I think that's it. I might have missed a name out in there somewhere. I'm going to get in trouble if my wife sees this, I'm pretty certain. She knows I'm terrible with names. It wasn't until about a few years ago I finally figured out what my own middle name is. It's Anthony. I could never for the life of me remember if it was actually Anthony or Anthony. But yeah, so that just goes to show I'm terrible with names. So I do apologise there, Mr. TB. I assume you're a mister, I haven't even checked that bit. Anyway, on to the comment. Right, I'd say anything that's a natural process that the body is supposed to do, then it's something different to body mods. I feel like body modification is an outside, unnatural influence, changing something about the body, like leaving a scar or ink under your skin. Although it's sort of vague. Sort of vague, but No, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously the things, and certainly the primary body modification community, like people like myself, that is the stuff we focus on, these random little things that obviously the body isn't really meant to do. We're sort of, we're applying like an external force just to do unusual little things that isn't really, it's not that it's not designed to do it per se, because if it wasn't, then it just wouldn't work. But yeah, I suppose what's a good way of putting it? I suppose we're playing around with the boundaries of what the body can do, if that makes sense. And there's certainly a lot behind the intent as well, definitely. But that does make me wonder, actually. I would ask you a question there. What would you actually consider normal for the body to do, as such, if that makes sense? For instance, take a sport like bodybuilding. Obviously, the body is designed to adapt to all sorts of unusual external forces and whatnot. For example, things that make you stronger, make you more muscular. And obviously bodybuilding is an example of that. Now there is obviously a certain amount that the human body will do naturally when you undergo resistance training. And then you get the next level to that, where people start using various chemical assistants, things like steroids and stuff like that, to blast way past what the body is naturally designed to do. So taking that as an example, would you perhaps consider natural bodybuilding as a natural thing, and then these crazy gigantic bodybuilders who use, like I say, chemical assistants to push way past the natural boundaries, would you then consider that to be actual body modification? That's that's something I would actually, if you do see this, I'd be curious to hear your questions on that. Or would you consider either of them at all body modification? I'm very curious. Gwen's messing about in the corner. I'm certainly very curious to hear what you would consider about that, what you would answer about that. But they're the two comments that I just wanted to highlight and just actually answer to. And yeah, we're coming up on 13 minutes already. I can't believe that that's even taken this long. So yes, just a short little video there. I hope some people found it interesting, and I will be back again soon for a few more videos. I've got plenty of little ideas going on in my head, including a couple that I'm pretty certain people will find interesting. So yes, I'll say ta-ra for now, because I'm getting really, really sleepy. And I will, no doubt I'll speak to you all again very soon. Ta-ra for now, and here's Gwen. Nope, she's running away. Hopefully you can see her. I don't know what you're looking at. Have a good one. Ta-ra.